So after Steve Cooper's controversial sacking from Leicester, Ruud Van Nistelrooy has been appointed as the new man in the dugout for Leicester. Let's discuss whether it's a good appointment, was it fair to get rid of Steve Cooper, and how can we see Leicester line up in the months to come. After Maresca got Leicester promoted last season, he obviously left for Chelsea. Now that meant that Leicester had to get a replacement in quick, whilst competing with big squads in the Premier League. They tried to get Carlos Corberán, they couldn't get him. They tried to get Graham Potter, they couldn't get him. So Steve Cooper came through the door on a 3-year deal, and it hasn't worked. Although they sit above the relegation zone at the time of recording, the XG table currently has them in 18th. They are overperforming their defensive and attacking metrics. Per game, they are taking the second least amount of on-target shots, and they're conceding the third most of shots per game. And ultimately, the Premier League is a league where if you're sustaining poor quality for long periods of time, it will catch up with you, and the stats don't lie. And the three men that have been linked with the job since Cooper going have all had very different footballing philosophies. First off, we've got David Moyes, he was linked very direct football. Graham Potter's been linked, he plays very fluid, three-back football. And then Van Nistelrooy has been linked and ultimately got the job, and he plays a 4-2-3-1, which transitions into a 3-2-5, like a lot of managers. Three very different options. And he's only had 1 year in senior management, being at PSV Eindhoven, after having a year with their B team before that. And he recently got appointed as Manchester United's assistant manager in the summer, but obviously since Ten Hag's been sacked, he also left. And that meant that Leicester thought, the guy that we wanted as manager is free now. Why don't we go get him? So they sacked Cooper and got Van Nistelrooy. So as I say, he plays a 4-2-3-1. On your screen now, you can see how Leicester potentially could line up for his first game or in the coming weeks. Hermansen in net, a solid goalkeeper, great distribution, it's exactly what the manager's going to want. I've got James Justin at right back. Pereira's got an injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. Centre-backs are Wout Faes and Yannick Vestergaard. I wouldn't trust Faust to, organise a piss up in a brewery. I reckon he's a poor defender, but for some reason managers like him. Christensen at left back. It would be James Justin if it wasn't for the fact that he's got to play at right back. But Tomare and Winks are at CDM. I think Winks may be out for a couple of weeks, so if not, it will be skipped. But those two are both defensive midfielders, they'll pivot well, and they'll dictate play. Since Maresca came in last season in the Championship, Ndidi has been preferred playing in more of an attacking 8 or a roaming 10 role, and that's where he's going to be playing. Deco over Reed and Buonanotte on either side. There's going to be reasons for that, which I'll go into later on in the video for why they're in those positions. Then Jamie Vardy up front. Van Nistelrooy, he had De Jong up front, Luke De Jong, and he's a player who finishes well, first and foremost. He'll get involved in link-up play if need be, but he wants to get in behind, and that's exactly what sort of player Vardy is. And as you can see, in an attacking phase, they'll probably be in a 3-2-5. We'll go into it a little bit later, because this is exactly what Van Nistelrooy uses. Christensen will push on, Buonanotte will come into a 10 position, so that means himself, and then Ndidi will be attacking 10s, and then the two CDMs will be holding their position. The right back, James Justin, I believe will be coming into more of a centre-back position. Now, there is also the possibility that this gets shifted, so Justin will push on at right back, Christensen will hold his position, or they could even put a Colley there if need be. So defensive shape, you can see very clear that it is a 4-2-3-1. It's a very clear back four, ignore the right back, poor positioning. CDMs, very clearly trying to stop the passes, to leave the back four exposed. The three in front of those are all just trying to cover their man, whether it's the CDMs or opposition fullbacks, and then the one will just be occupying the centre-backs. And then the build-up shape, you can see here so clearly it's a 3-2. The fullback tucks in to form the third man. The two CDMs are pivoting, just like how I said Tomare and Winks would do, providing options. And just like when Leicester had Maresca, it's very, very structured. Each player knows their roles. When the goalkeeper gets the ball and has a bit of time, that's when the shape shifts and players move into their specific positions on the pitch. Now this is a clip against Arne Slot's Feyenoord, which you can see is a clear 5 in attack, which they're using, although it's not a clear 3-2 because the fullbacks are still moving into position, so it's more of a 4-1-5 at this point in the game. You can very clearly see that it's 5 behind the ball and then 3 in those half spaces behind the opposition's defence and in front of their midfield, or vice versa, trying to find pockets of space to play incisive football, and that's exactly what they did. In this clip, they scored a goal. And the key personnel is those two attacking midfielders that are playing behind the opposition's midfield, because they're the ones who pick up the ball and within half a touch, they've got the ball under control and laid it off already, whether it's to De Jong, to one of the wingers, to the other attacking midfielder there, and it's so incisive and so clinical. And it's so clear to see how Van Nistelrooy puts so much emphasis on getting the ball through the centre to their attacking midfielders to play off passes through the opposition's centre-backs. Now here it starts off with a PSV centre-back having the ball in the opposition half, and he tries to play a ball into the half space in behind, and it doesn't quite work. They lose the ball, but the players swarm, and they swarm, and they swarm. The Herenveen players do not know how to get out because every passing option which they have got is being blocked off or being readily intercepted. And ultimately, PSV win the ball back, and within 3 quick passes, which you can see the pass map here, they play De Jong in behind and they score a goal. So with these points which I've brung up, I feel like we can get a good feel for how Ruud plays football. In possession, when it's with the goalkeeper, it's very structured. Each player gets into their shape and they know where the next pass is going to be going to. They want to play through the middle. The 10s are pivotal. Ndidi, Warnotte, Reed, Ayew, whoever's going to be playing there is going to be integral towards getting Leicester from possession into the final third and scoring goals. When they lose the ball, there's a pressing structure which is clearly emphasised in training that week to know exactly what the opposition's main strengths are, how to get at them, how to win the ball back and counter. The general shape is clearly a 4-2-3-1, as we saw with the defensive shape against Feyenoord. Let me know down in the comments, how do you think Ruud is going to get on at Leicester? I'm not sure how he's going to do. I'm genuinely not sure because he's had 1 year in senior management where he did very, very, very well, but it was in the Eredivisie where we've seen a manager like Ten Hag come in and do poorly, but a manager like Arne Slot so far come in and do very well. Whilst you're here, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know about Ruud down in the comments. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.